Hey, what's up? So, build video number 2. Everything still works. When we last saw our hero, he was working just fine and in need of one of these thingies, VTX, and the TBS Nano. So, oh, and found this badass purple camera that's kind of excited about. So, gonna solder these up and catch up with you guys in a couple. I don't know if you're wondering why my soldering iron is smoking. This is why you don't just plug stuff in randomly, and you know, you kind of want to be a little bit safe about that. I wasn't, so shame on me. And yeah, so here we go. All right, so VTX. Oh, you can't see. VTX is wired up. Yay! 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 And if I can find a battery, just to prove you that I did not smoke it. Fortunately, I pulled a little rookie mistake, but fortunately I remembered to plug the Immortal T on, and it still works. Did not do any damage, and we are moving on to the VTX now. So, why do you plug an antenna onto your Nano? Because not only does it receive, it also transmits, and so therefore it's putting out juice, and you do not want to smoke it. Fortunately, I only touched it for a second, and it did not do any damage. Praise Jesus, hallelujah. Yeah, okay. Okay, next thing is we are going to bind. So, turn on the beast.
Welcome to OpenTX.
You might know who that is. It's me with really bad hair day. All right. So, you see I put my antenna on, got my heat shrink on. Now I'm going to bind. If you don't know how to bind, there's a bazillion videos in it. I'm not going to show you how to do it. All right, and just so you actually know that I know what the hell I'm doing.
Telemetry recovered.
Did you hear that? Telemetry recovered. Green light. Green light. Green light. Green light. And one more time, just because there's people who are like, yeah, you know, people. And oh yeah. So this is my arm switch. It's not set up right now, but it is my arm switch. Duh. That one there. All right. So anyway, on to the more work. I'm just going to show you one other thing that's kind of like super important. So remember how we had to have that connected to there? Obviously, I got the heat shrink there. I haven't put on yet. All right. So here is, I'm using the tiny tank. Oh, you can't see because I'm vibrating like crazy. Okay. This I'm using the tiny tank. I got the thingy hooked on there, obviously, because I got to have an antenna on there also. But, I don't know if you can see it or not, this is a male antenna, which means that every other antenna that I have, I've got, here's another one, is also male and won't mate up. So, I got to have one of these little puppies, boom, there, and boom, there, in order to make that work. Just a little heads up, make sure when you grab the antenna connector off the shelf, you're grabbing one that is a female and not a male, so that you can actually connect it. Just a little heads up. All right, so I think I'm there. I got this. It's got stuff there, and that's things there, and to spots there, and it's kind of melted that spot a little bit, but it doesn't have to be pretty to there. And I'm basically just, yeah, waiting on someone who double checks my work to send me back a message to make sure that I double checked and did everything correctly. But I think I did it right. I think. So, everything's hooked up, everything's soldered in. I got lights. I got lights. I got lights. I got lights. I'm bound. I'm good. Just to make sure. Lights, lights, lights. The world's a happy place. Okay. So next thing is to connect this thing into beta flight. Oh my God, I'm so tired. I've been working on this for, well, let's just say it's 9:37. 3 hours. So, yeah. First quad build, part 2. I'm plugging into beta flight now. All right, so something I did notice when I plugged in, it was really like hot. So didn't smoke anything, but I didn't connect something right. And I'm gonna think it has to do with this bad boy right here. So I'm actually going to tap the 5-volt on that real quick. I'm kind of excited I actually get to finish this video finally. So what we found out, why I was having issues. So see how we chewed that thing apart right there? I know it's kind of hard to see. I'll try and focus. Do you see that tiny little point of solder right there? That was actually bridged to that pin when I was soldering up this mess, and that's what screwed it all up. So thank God for Aaron over at Excel RC. Focus! And so all I have left to do is I gotta I gotta solder that little pin there to that little thing right there on the VTX, and then God willing, everything should work. So after a bunch of work, it's officially done. So everything's slid. I gotta bind it, obviously, no big deal there. Everything's there. I got the Rush Tiny Tank wired in, and look at that, I actually have a video. So everything's wonderful, yay. And the next thing's gonna be to hook it up to Betaflight, and well, bind it, and then hook it up to Betaflight and be heli, and make sure that these little bastards are going in the right direction. So, all right, so we're plugging it in, and I'm gonna get some of this stuff out of the way, but you can see that it actually is working, yay. And so I know I'm gonna get comments about that battery, so I'm just gonna address it right now. This battery right here, it's all mangled and everything else. It's a bench battery. It never goes up in the air. I'm actually going to recycle it here. Same thing as this one. Another bench battery. Waiting to, one bad accident and catch this thing on fire. You can see I already took the leads off of it. So it's going in the salt water here soon. But we've got working everything. So, foist thing is foist. Let's get everything leveled out. So we're going to calibrate the accelerometer. Everything looks good there. And nothing stinks, which means nothing's burning, which is a beautiful thing. And we're going to check the motors first. And I just so happen to have a battery here. So, again, no props on. We're being safe. We're being smart. And I'm going to turn the camera so you guys can see actually what the hell I'm doing. And yes, I understand. And we're going to fire up the motors and see if we get some juice. Okay. And that's rotating in. And that's rotating in. And that's rotating out. And that's rotating in. So, this is right. This is right. This is right. This is wrong. So I know that this motor here is actually motor number 2. So we are going to kill that. And we're going to disconnect. Okay, reading setup, finished, and now we play the waiting game. Right, so since I couldn't get it to work in BL Heli, I am going to swap a couple of leads. I'm just going to flip-flop these two, and then we should be good to go. Right, so the resolder is done, and yeah. So let's, it's all hooked up, everything's plugged in. We're going to go ahead, I already shut off the understand the rules switch, and we're going to fire this thing up. Okay, so we got inward spin, we got inward spin, we got inward spin, we got inward spin. World is a happy place. I got camera, All I got to do now is set up all my switches, and I am dunesies. And I'm ready to fly this thing tomorrow. So, the next video you see of this will be part 3, and that's going to be the maiden voyage. Peace out.